ladies and gentlemen, down here in the bottom left, we've got a Terran player. Mr. IPL Robin, can you tell me who it is?
It's going to be Crass. It's going to be your light blue, cyan-colored Terran player.
Cyan?
Cyan, yeah.
You know the first time I ever heard that word? It was Halo. I know you're a big Halo fan, so.
Yeah. Cyan's actually one of the. It's like the fourth color you can pick, I believe. Like there was.
Oh, you know what? I'm completely wrong, actually.
No, it's in. Well,
it's Cobalt. It's Cobalt, though.
Was it Cobalt?
Well, that was the. I knew Cyan from Age of Empires, actually.
Oh, okay. Well, I think Cyan's in there. I might be wrong. I have to go find Halo. I gotta go buy it again because I traded it in.
I think they had Cyan. I think you're right.
That was a really bad mistake.
We have it in the office.
Traded my Halo in.
Are you kidding
me?
me?
Really?
Dude, it's like again.
Dude,
every
we need
video
to get Halo Land set up here. I want to play some kids and like charge them $15 to play me in a 1v1, and I'll go for the Rockets every single time. Okay, in the top right corner, it's going to be MVP's very own Monster. I haven't seen Monster play in forever.
Did you ever see All Real Monsters?
What's
I haven't seen that in forever either.
That was, I think.
We should, after we cast this game, we should take a quick break and everybody should just go watch an episode of All Real Monsters.
Is that red monster the same figure as like Mr. Krabby from SpongeBob?
No.
I feel like it's the same look.
Way.
I think it's the same look.
I like the guy that pulled his, that held his eyeballs in his hands.
Yeah, that's him. Like he kind of looked like a crab. I don't know.
Because he had. He looked perfectly like a
too.
humanoid. He just held eyeballs in his hands. Is that why he looked like a crab?
I think so. Just the
look
red.
At you just stereotyping
the red pops out.
Oh, if your eyeballs fall apart, you must be a crustacean.
I'm a crabist. That's what I am.
He was a complete humanoid. You're absolutely wrong. Watch somebody post he actually had a shell on his back. You're stupid.
I actually really want to see All Real Monsters now. All of a sudden, Rugrats, all those Nickelodeon shows.
I've done that.
Dude, I was watching Animaniacs.
Yeah.
The other day.
Their
show was so ahead of its time.
Yeah.
Like, they had songs for every episode. I was so pleased. I was like, this
Wait, what do you mean ahead of its time, though?
Like, every single... Okay, so you watch, like, movies, okay? Everything's like, pretty standard, by the way, in the match for those. They're like, please cast a match. There's always, like, 5 songs that are always in, like, some kind of Disney movie or any type of, like, cartoon animation.
Okay.
But Animaniacs had 3 to 4 songs for every single episode. Like, they had a 4-color graphic, and they actually had, like, really good music. Like, you listen to the music, and it was so funny. Like, the lyrics were, like, intelligent. Like, I never realized Animaniacs was so darn funny until I watched it in my older ages. Like, that show was so ahead of its time.
I mean, come on. They had a song that was The Countries of the World.
And then, of
Tell
course,
me that's not difficult, right?
Pinky in the Brain, man.
You know the song that had all the 50 states? You know, Alabama, Alaska, Arizona.
Yeah.
That's a nationwide hit. Every kid learned that growing up.
They made all the money.
Learn
and they were like
Animaniacs
self-aware
song?
too. They were always talking about like Warner Bros. And how much money they were making. Like it was so funny. And all the three little brats were always asking for more money. Anywho, Command Center about to finish up. We do have one Rex. We have followed up into a gas, so a quick tech on the way. Of course, gonna be factory reactor helium, most likely. Pop out a couple of them. Isn't hard to swarm quite yet, so you're not gonna be seeing a crazy amount of sea shanks out of nowhere. So it looks like, of course, we're gonna have a amount of things pop out. I'd like to see a quicker third from Monster, of course. It's a little bit harder to defend.
Seeing more and more of that.
Yeah. You just get that third out, and you just don't put any drones there until you make sure you have creep going that way, and you have a couple of queens in the field.
Yeah, it's actually been so. It's crazy, man. I didn't play too much StarCraft for a little while. About 2 or 3 months, I was having a little bit of a hiatus. By the way, we've got 4 queens coming out of Monster. But now getting back into it again, you know, of course, I mean, I sat next to you yesterday for, 10 hours playing StarCraft?
Yeah, man, we played all day.
It's crazy using this new metagame. It's completely different. Now, Monster's doing a little bit of a throwback right now with the 4 queens. We've actually seen a lot of Zergs lately. They actually do grab their gas. They get the speed. They make just a 3rd queen. They spread creep with the 2nd for the 1st inject, and then they get a 3rd in between, 5:15 and 6 minutes, somewhere in that range. Monster with his 4 queens, as you said, I wouldn't be surprised to see that very, very fast 3rd base as well. We'll see if we see any additional queens queued up here. It doesn't look like it, so there go our gases.
He's going to fall up into gas really quickly here. He's deciding to go ahead and move into tech and at the same time get his hatchery. This is a little bit on the gutsy side. I'd actually, to say, has he scouted that command center? Okay, he had the overload command, so it's not gutsy anymore. I thought he hadn't scouted it. But had he not scouted that, of course, there's a lot of times you can die to in general. Just even a few 4 or 5 Marines coming in here, you lose a few drones and potentially even a queen. But with him seeing that command center, he knows, okay, I can follow up into a gas route and a 3rd base. He's playing a very greedy play, but it's a justified greedy play. I like to play for Monster overall.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to work out great for him. As you were talking about, things like Hellion Marine drops is actually, I got slaughtered by the other day because I just, didn't bother to take a minute to scout for a command center. Zergling's going to be taken out in the middle of the map by some Hellions right now, and there is that. I think we're going to see an insane amount of creep here for Monster. We've said it once, we've said it a million times. Creep is getting more and more important in this game every day.
So much stronger in ZVT as well.
Yeah.
A little bit harder to justify going for queens in ZVP. Yeah, it feels like a lot of lost resource overall. And for the most part, they're not that great in terms of Stalker versus Stalkers, of course, taking them out, as well as like Zeld getting in the way. But in ZVT, Queens are completely justified. They deal with Hellions very nicely. They're nice punching bags in general. You can just beat the crap out of them and they don't even care.
Nice quote from Tumba there.
Yeah, Mr. Tumba, man, he taught me the way. And then, of course, the follow-up into Creep. Creep is just so much better, it feels like, in ZVT because of Banelings and them trying to connect with Marines. You can't do it off Creep, even with Baneling speed. It's such a pain in the rear. So, again, just the early game moving into so many Queens has become so justified as of late. And now we do, of course, have +1 falling up. Speed about to finish off at the same time, and Baneling. Tech is now starting to turn out really, really hardcore here for Monster. And looking into Grass's build, I actually kind of like Grass's build here. He's going to be able to follow up with a nice amount of Banshees with that cloak. But of course, with the 4 Queens being there, it's kind of hard to pull off, and a lair soon.
Yeah, it's pretty rough versus this build. The lair should be starting up any second. Yeah, but this is actually a bit of a, not necessarily a mistake out of Monster, but he is sitting on 400 gas that he's going to have very little of a way to spend if he doesn't. Well, he's losing some drones right now, it sounds. Is going to manage to clean that up, loses 1 Hellion, but overall, I mean, this either needs to be a really big Baneling attack out of Monster, otherwise he made quite a blunder with all this gas he's sitting on right now. He could be in some trouble when this Banshee with Cloak arrives.
Well, Cloak is just now finishing up. Does he have a Banshee outside of that natural? I see something bottom green. Okay, so that's a medevac. So he's starting to pop in here with these Hellions and do more damage. How many workers has he killed overall? Can we control all of that?
Yeah.
Because right now he's mineral starved. He's only killed off 4, so something's missing here. He's done something a little bit off with his build because he has so much gas.
Crass, you mean?
Yeah. I'm sorry, Monster.
Oh, yeah.
Monster has so much gas.
Well, something about Crass is his Banshee's actually insanely late here. It hasn't spawned and Cloak is done. He just completed a 60-second Banshee after doing the entire Cloak research.
Interesting here. Well, anywho, it looks like he wanted to just go ahead and go to the medevac and then fall up into the Banshee. It's a delayed Banshee Cloak to throw off your opponent. If you're going for Hellions, most of the time you're not going to fall up into Banshees right away, and that's what he's trying to do, and just kind of throw off Monster a little bit here. But with the 4 Queens, it becomes a little bit harder to pull off. Spire, though, now has been queued up on the way, so it looks like Monster's build is just to go for a really delayed Mutalisk. I really feel like it would have been better for him to A, drone up really heavily at his surge. After he got enough gas for his speed, and it's the 2 upgrades, pull some drones off and go ahead and mine some minerals for a little bit here. Because he had so much gas floating around, and I feel like any strong timing that came across the 2 base would have just killed him. But we do have, of course, the Hellions dropping once again. Zerglings will deal with him right away. It's funny, he hit held position, so that 1 did live. And here come the follow-up in the 2 Banshees here, and this is going to surprise Monster so well.
The timing of this is actually super interesting. It's way beyond the point when you would expect Banshees. I think we actually saw Spore Crawlers building earlier and he canceled them because no Banshees showed up. Lings are going to get a beautiful surround though on those Hellions, so that's quite a victory. But meanwhile, these Banshees continuing to ravage the mineral line. Look at how many drones are left right now. He killed almost 20 with those Banshees.
That is pretty darn ridiculous. He
killed over 20, 22
Monster
kills.
Couldn't do anything until he finished that Overseer, and it takes 17 seconds to finish out an Overseer. 17 seconds of 2 Banshees killing off units is so much damage. It's freaking ridiculous and a half.
And there's no Overlord speed.
Oh my gosh, and the positioning here too. Ooh. The crease bed isn't moved out in the main. This is some people have started to do it a lot, so they can keep Queens moving around for Banshees. But since Monster didn't expect Banshee, because he saw, of course, the medevacs come in, everything is just thrown off. Everything he knows about StarCraft, he's like,
it's a great point.
He's like, what the fuck is going on here?
Yeah.
Like, he has no idea that this was coming, and this is just, he's getting destroyed by it. It's a nice gimmicky play from Crass, and it's really turning out really well for him.
That's such, I mean, that is exactly what I would call it, gimmicky. You know, he researched the Cloak while the Cloak was researching, made those medevacs, and it's just Monster not expecting it at all.
This medevac slowly getting low on HP here with the Mutas popping out. Finally, the Banshees and the medevacs are being dealt with, but the damage has been done. He's lost a lot of Harvesters. A third has been followed up here from Crass. He's following up into, of course, his 5th and 6th gas. So he's going to be able to start taking up as well, getting his +2, his +1 armor on the way, moving into siege mode as well, so lane Muta Baneling suddenly becomes obsolete. He's going to be really strong in the mid game, actually, because I don't think Monster's going to have enough Mutas to really harass us that much.
All right. Well, I'm actually a little worried right now for Crass. No, he does. Okay. I was looking for a tech lab. He's just not researching combat shields. He's just going to completely forego it, actually. Oh, no. Well, okay, finally, tech lab. Because I was looking for a tech lab on the barracks. I was like, does he not have stim?
Yeah, he needs that for the Banelings.
So, at least he'll be able to deal with the Mutalisks for now. But you're completely right. I mean, we've got centrifugal hooks right now being researched. With these Banelings coming in for Monster, Siege Tech is going to be completed. These Marines are going to be so squishy.
Yeah, I want Crass to just sit back for a little bit here. 2-2 did finish up, though, here for Monster, so he actually really does have a strong ground army. overall. I mean, +2 is about to finish up for Kras, but he's got about a 20-30 second time window here, I believe, to do some damage if I'm reading this correctly. So here goes the run on in. He does see that his opponent does have lower upgrades, and he's going to go and get this surround on the siege tank. Doesn't go down quickly enough. It does get one Baneling shot off there, so it kills off a nice amount of Banelings, and the Marines can just split from here. He's going to be careful. Another siege tank is set up, though, and it looks like Kras might just have this game. Be a little bit careful there. That is pretty close, but he, of course, will kill everything off. Mutas, though, do catch some SCVs, so that's always nice.
Oh, a lot. I mean, gets off 12 of those SCV kills. And now it's going to be thwarted by the Marines. I'm actually very surprised that he ran from this, because the total Marine count right now, that's 11 versus 14 Mutas. I mean, and they don't even have combat shields, but, you know, playing it safe, he's actually just going to go for another round here. Centrifugal Hooks is done. This is going to make this attack so much stronger, and combat shields is still not completed. Remember, with combat shields, it's one Baneling per Marine for a kill.
Kras is trying to build things to the third. He wants stuff to just get in the way to make it a little bit easier for him to deal with this. The siege tanks are kind of in a weird position. He's got one here right in the middle here just to deal with Banelings. Oh, nice. It's actually baiting them into these siege tanks on the high ground, but the Mutas actually flock straight in and kill him off. Monster's kind of just outplaying Kras right now. Overall, the upgrades for those 2-2 are really helping him out.
The Marines, because they're forced to run instead of split, the splitting won't be efficient enough. He didn't have combat shields. So he was forced to entirely run away, exposing the siege tanks to the Mutalisk. Monster cleans up every single one, and there it is, folks. GG, well played.
Wow. So I feel whenever the whole Ling Baneling attack was coming in the first part, I really felt like Kras had a huge opportunity to pull his SPs back to his natural. Like, a lot of people forget to forgo that. Like, when a huge Ling Baneling attack comes in, that's the strongest point of where it's going to do its most damage. You need to be able to try and pull away Decipher and basically have damage control happening there. With him having Siege Tank set up as his natural, I don't understand why he allowed for his SCVs to stay down at the third. Great play by Monster, though, for catching that, going straight for the SCVs and killing them off. Because suddenly the reinforcement rate for Kras is severely damaged. He's not going to be able to reinforce with as much units as he would like to, because he just simply doesn't have the refunds or the sources anymore.
No, you're completely right. And we saw Monster, because he lost all those drones, go for the Mutalisks and the Banelings. He was very, very Ling light. Instead of replenishing his drones this much, he was at 71 versus like 65. It was very, very close. He just opted to go for those large attacks because you went Hellion, then you went Hellion drops, then you went Cloaked Banshee. It's 3 different kinds of harass right there. You really, and it's going to delay the entire rest of your build. So I couldn't agree with you more, man. It was a smart play out of Monster.
Wow, so congratulations to Monster there. He's going to be taking it up to 4-1 now?
3-1,
3-1, okay, so taking up to 3-1 here over Karont3 Gaming. We're going to get ready for game number 5. We'll see who exactly is Karont3 sending out, actually. Do we have 3 picks?
It looks like Karont3 is actually going to be sending out Giant. So we're going to have another Zerg player from Karont3. It's actually going to make it a ZVZ.
All right, guys, we'll go ahead and get into a commercial. We'll be right back in a couple of minutes. Get ready for game number 5.